G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4 on the brand new expansion pack, Dynasties of the East. Today we have two of the world's best players, Conqueror 3s, facing off on a familiar map. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dry Arabia. Let's get in and introduce our players. Spawning in the east of the map in the color purple, playing as the Golden Horde, the Mongol variant. It's Corvinus 1. And on the west side of the map, in the color red, playing as the French, it's Sass. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. A pleasure to have your company here today as we watch one of the OG civilizations, the French, go up against one of the brand new civilizations, the Golden Horde. Of course, this is the Mongol variant. And I will just say right now that old Mongol loves this matchup. There is nothing better than this matchup. Well, I say that, but then people, like the French, worked out how to play against the Mongols. But look, it still feels good playing as the Mongols. You get access to those early double spears. You get access to, well, just shutting down their early aggression with the knight because you've already got spearmen out. But anyway, let's talk less about the old Mongol and more about the new Mongol, as things are quite different here. First and foremost, villagers train 2 at a time. You also start out with less villagers. In fact, I think you only start with 5 villagers, which kind of sucks, but there's a reason why that is. And it's the same reason why back in Age of Empires 3, the Russians started with less villagers. It's because they batch train them. And when you batch train them, sure you pay the same price as 2 villagers, but they're faster. And that's what makes them quite attractive, because over the course of a game, it might not seem like much, but over the course of, let's say, a 10-minute or even a 20-minute game, your economy is going to be quite a bit ahead of an opponent who's just been on 1 TC the whole time and hasn't had any other buffs to their train time. So because of that, it can really start to add up. And because of that, they have to offset it. So that's part of the reason why. But anyway, nothing too crazy so far in this beginning stages of the game. We'll check in with Corvinus 1 and see exactly what the play is for him. We see the Uvu in the back of the base, together with the golden tent. He's thrown the Gur down over on the gold vein. Everything here is about as standard as it comes. And yet, despite that, we can see just how far behind he is on that age up. It's really taking him some time. Well, I say that. He's got a lot of vills in queue. He'll fix it up, don't worry. But we can see there's a little bit of gold in the bank here. Sass about to click up. A little bit miss macro there. School of Cavalry going to be going down for him. Over on the left side, we are seeing old versus new right now. The old French against the brand new Mongols. And I tell you what, I'm excited because I want to query Sass. It takes a particular type of man to sit on a brand new expansion pack and say, you know what, I don't care for those new civs. I want to play the OG. I want to play Old Faithful. And look, I'll be honest, there's a part of me that's like that as well. There's nothing better. Like, you get in, you theory craft, and you're just like, man, I just want to make Jukunu. Anybody else, or is it just me? Is it just me? I think it might just be me. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the next Chinese variant where they only just make Jukunu and that's it. And like, you age up and you get access to a new type of Jukunu that shoots Jukunu. Oh man, when you can make a Jukunu shoot Jukunu, oh, that's going to be a good game. Anyway, let's focus less on my fantasies and more on what we see in front of us here in front of us, because we've got the Khan and the Torgud coming through for Corvinus 1. No real surprise here. Now, keep in mind that your Golden Tent is essentially your Abbasid age-up building. One thing to note is that your age-ups are mutually exclusive in the sense that once they're used, they're gone forever. It's not like the classic Abbasid age-up where I can choose between the Eco Wing to start off, and if I don't take them, I was going to say the medical wing. If I don't take the military wing, then I'll be able to take it in the next stage if I want. Not the case here. Once you've made your decision, you're stuck with it for life. Well, the life of the game at least. In today's game, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what Corvinus 1 is going to do with the Khan and Torguds. I suspect he's probably going to end up making quite a few of them because early on, the Golden Tent can act as a stable. It allows you to train the Khan, the Batu Khan. It allows you to train the Torgud. So don't be surprised if we see him look to leverage that early. We also see quite a few villagers here on wood as he now begins to come over onto food. He's got last set of villagers in queue, so he's managed to time that quite well as those 8 villagers now move across over onto the food. But expect to see that he's going to start off with the Batu Khan, then probably move into a set of Torguds. The price is going to be reduced as well. We can see him now rallying out towards this position here. And then maybe I would potentially look at moving into a barracks just for those early spearmen, because you know that your enemy is probably going to be making knights. and you're going to need a way to keep up with them, as we do see professional scouts coming out for SAS in the early game here, before the 5-minute mark. So, you know, I noted the fact that he had mismacroed a little bit because he had a little bit too much gold when he aged up. Perhaps that's all part of the plan. Perhaps the intent was always that those villagers were going to remain on gold because, well, he had professional scouts to research. And now we see that second Uvu towards the front of the base. Batu Khan comes out, charges the Royal Knight head on and says, "Oi, get out of my base." And indeed, SAS gets out of his base. He realizes that, hey, Batu Khan, he ain't no guy that I want to mess with. Now, one thing to note, Batu Khan, he's kind of cheap. He's not that expensive. Let's see if the block comes through from Corvinus 1. It does. You could see SAS knew that the block was going to land on the scout. The scout takes the brunt of the damage, and the scout heals over time. So, like, you could just bring the scout back under the town center, and you'll be A-okay. Meanwhile, the Batu Khan is doing work. Corvinus 1 with a great start here, and we do see more units in queue for him. He's looking to pick up a pair of Torgood here. Behind this, do we see a barracks thrown down? Not yet at this stage. Oh, what have we got back here? Look at this, the fortified outpost of all things. Back here, towards this position. He knows exactly what he's up against. Oh, he lost the scout. A little bit of a mistake here, losing the scout this early on. But look, at the end of the day, it's better than losing a villager. But arguably, you don't want to lose both or either of them. Batu Khan slowly working down the Royal Knight, only doing 8 damage a pop here. Upgrades starting to come through for SAS as well. He's only got the one knight out on the field, looking to move into double broad axe. We also see specialized pick coming through, and behind this, double production thrown down. He is a man that looks committed to a feudal age play here, and I think that might be the right decision up against the Golden Horde, notorious for their Zerg-like abilities. And SAS now making his way back with the professional scouts. You can see just how slow these scouts are. Now, keep in mind, there has been a little bit of a change to professional scouts. Not as strong as it once used to be, but still pretty damn good for the price that you pay. Now the Torgood coming through with the charges. You can see they've got a little bit of damage here as well. Only the 10 damage, so really not much when you think about it compared to the 19 of the Royal Knight. And then once you start talking about, like, armors as well, remember that it's going to get even worse. Because we've got a base of 19 here. And if we minus 3 armor from that, that's 16 damage. If you've got a base of 10 and you minus the 3 armor from that, that's 7 damage. So you're talking 7 damage against 16. More than double the effective damage in a matchup like this. So it really becomes quite pertinent that these units are, for all intents and purposes, very different. Because while, sure, it's a tanky unit and it's got a lot of health and, well, it's super scary, but when it comes to these damage and these trades like this, we see he needs to be careful not to lose this knight. Does bring it back. I suspect he'll look for some chivalry, maybe to heal up and do a little bit of love back here, but you can see this knight's going to head back into the town center. Definitely won't be coming out until chivalry is researched, because it doesn't really serve much purpose until it comes through. Another thing to note is that with the change to professional scouts, of course, it's lovely having these deer underneath your town center, but for every second that they are underneath the town center, as well as on the back of these scouts, they will be losing out. So they will be decaying. So I don't know what the actual rate of decay is, but judging by this, it looks like it might be about... Hold on, this one's not decaying. Why is this one not decaying? Does it only decay when it's on the back? Perhaps it only decays when it's on the back, in which case... I'm only just seeing that right now because I haven't played with professional scouts yet. In which case, that's an interesting mechanic, because it means for deer that's closer to you, you'll be less affected by it, whereas deer that's further away from you, significantly more affected by it. So it definitely reduces the whole concept of, like, you know, when you're playing against the English and there's just a whole bunch of deer, or a whole bunch of deer that you could just take. Well, now it's like, well, you can take them, but it's just not going to be as much food as you once were able to have. So an interesting design. I'm kind of, well, I didn't actually see this change come through. We had access to an early patch in the creator preview, and I didn't see this mentioned, but then I did see that it got nerfed as well. So I don't know whether that got added in or whether I just missed the nerf. Maybe I just missed the nerf. You know me. I do sometimes miss things. Looks like we've got ourselves some archers coming out together. No, never mind. Where are the spears? No, I see spears. Where's the racks? Oh, the racks is back here. We got a little bit of a 1-1-1 coming out. Don't mind me seeing some GUA and some SAS. Very excited. Well, not like that, but yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, spear numbers looking quite decent here for Corvinus 1 as he begins to make that melee combo come to life here. A couple spears getting caught up on that wolf at the back, but will eventually make their way to the front. Keshiks here as well, together with the Torgood. Keep in mind the Keshiks will be able to heal themselves up, but it's more of an active healing compared to the passive healing that we often see out of the chivalry of the French. Still not yet researched. Finally, there we see it. I could smell it. I knew it was coming in. We've also got the Karash here as well. Gives a little bit of extra armor for our Torgood. Definitely a step in the right direction. back towards the opponent's base. I say the opponent's base, the Corvinus 1 base. We do see the fortified outpost coming up here as well. He's putting all of his production around it, so I'm liking this a lot. Fortified outpost, not the cheapest building as well to just be throwing down willy-nilly, and the fact that he's got 2 of them out here interests me greatly. This is a big investment that he's got, so I suspect he's probably planning later on to maybe centralize a whole bunch of his production, well, not production, but a whole bunch of his farms back here. Maybe that's what he's thinking with this, because it seems like quite a bit of an investment. Like, I just would have gone with a couple of palisade walls, because keep in mind, as the Golden Horde, you can actually make palisade walls, and against the French, that is particularly effective, and you've got great palisade walls that you can arguably the best palisade walls you can ever make. A simple one across the front, and then a gold connecting one. Oh my god, you've got a stone one in here. If you want to go for a twofer, you can. You can just come across. This is such good palisade walls to the back here. Definitely less than that 150 wood that you would have paid here. So I think maybe a little bit of an oversight from Corvinus 1, but at the same time, I'm sure it will return dividends if the longer the game goes. Let's just put it that way. It's an investment in the sense that, you know, you're eventually going to see your I was going to say your pastures. You're eventually going to see your stockyards down here. Charge coming through on those Tord goods, making their way towards the central sacred site. The Knights retreat back towards the base. Sass doing a little bit of a run here as he realizes, hey, that's a lot of units. I don't know if we can take that right now. To be fair, there's a setup. There's 4 Karash in there, so it looks very formidable. But the Karash, you just got to remember, they're human shields. Sorry, to say it bluntly, they are quite literally human shields. That's essentially it. So you don't have to worry too much about them. They just get one shot. I do like that they provide the armor bonus. A very nice boost, dude. I'm wearing my my headset. Sorry, I've got like my headset between my. We'll talk about it later. Let's focus on the fight. I keep throwing myself off balance because I keep knocking my headset cord, which is between my legs at the moment, or like between my feet. And occasionally I just accidentally step on it and it brings my headset down. I'm like, what's going on? Anyway, I've sorted it out now. Oh my god, the triple pincer! I was going to say we're having fish for dinner tonight. Well, we could have fish for dinner tonight. We're having horse for dinner tonight. Dude, did you see that skewer? My lord, that was a little bit of a misplay right there from Sass. I tell you what, many players right there would have just said, that's me for today, I'm done. I'm not queuing up for another game after this one. That was a massive skewer. Just a split second too far. And or a split second, and it really makes the difference. And you can see right there, almost another skewer coming through. Nice control coming out from Corvinus 1 as the villagers fall back. He wants to make sure he can get this fortified outpost up. I think he's probably gone a little bit too aggressive with it. I would have loved to have seen it maybe at the back so we can provide that extra health, but the unit's looking quite decent. Archers on the back, able to pick off the enemy archers now as they begin to focus. Spears looking to come into power at the front here as well. The Karash still providing this decent bonus to everything, and now those villagers coming through. It's going to take too long. There's no way. You're guaranteed to lose these. And the Knights reign supreme. A theme that we've seen for many years here, but it's the classic French problem. And that is the problem that if you don't kill the Knights will kill you. And this is what's happening right here as Corvinus 1 scrambles to defend. And the trouble that you've got in this situation is Sass can very easily go Castle Age from here. But if he doesn't want to, he can just keep making more Knights. And for you now to catch up with a reasonable amount of spears, you need to double down into spears. You need to drop another stable. You just can't keep making spears from a single Rax. You now have to drop a second Rax in this situation. So let's keep an eye out for Corvinus 1 and whether or not he does that, because the trouble that you're going to have here is that these Knights are going to be very powerful in this game, and he's going to run rampage through this base. Expect to start seeing raids in the back. Expect to start seeing him all over this map, because Corvinus 1 is in a little bit of trouble after that fight. I tell you what, it went really well for him early on. The fact that he was able to find the connection with the 3 skewers on those Knights looked really pivotal. But unfortunately, in the end, the numbers were too great for Sass. +1s now coming through, as well as a Castle Age going to be coming through. 14 minutes in, let's switch over to our income per minute, get an idea on where these two currently sit. Keep in mind for the villager count, we've got 3 worker kills on the side of Sass. Of course, those workers were on the front, they got taken out. But other than that, obviously the French do train their villagers a little bit faster than the average bear, 1 every 17 seconds compared to 2 every 37 seconds. So technically over a 40-second period, well, over a 40-second period, you're going to be up 6 seconds on your opponent No, sorry, you'll be up 3 seconds on your opponent as the French. So you will technically build that lead very slowly as the French. Guildhall now going to be coming up right at the front of the base here. Going to be blocking out just that single farm, which is absolutely A-OK for that immediate adjacency next to the town center. How does he look to play it from here? So an interesting decision to go into the Guildhall. This signals that perhaps he wants to play it a little bit more thoughtfully into the mid game, maybe even look at playing into an Imperial Age as an option as well. He wants to keep that in the back pocket, not going to go 100% all in here, and I think that's the right call. He hasn't opted for that second TC in the Feudal Age, so it definitely makes a bit more sense. It's not going to have the resources to splurge on upgrades like you would typically at the Royal Institute. And because of that, he just wants to focus as much as he can on his resources to get up here. Corvinus 1 may potentially contest this. Does he see the age up? Let's take a look. It's going to be too late by the time he sees it. There it is. He spots it and says, oh, damn, that was bad timing. We could have almost had it. Veterancy coming through immediately for his knights as well as his archers. And Corvinus 1 now ages up as well. Going for Relic Uvus. Interesting decision to move in at Relic Uvus here. Primarily because he's not going to be the first one to age up. He will be quick to follow his opponent, but keep in mind, this is a 2-minute age up. This is a really long time for him to be waiting around for these relics. Now, of course, the French don't particularly prioritize relics, but of course, good players do. And I would suspect that we see the monastery thrown down in the next 30 seconds or so, as he will look to challenge this position almost certainly. Let's check in over on the back of the base, get an idea on how this economy is starting to unfold. Upgrades are coming through for both players. Military on the side of SAS, economic on the side of Corvinus 1. SAS now spotting out these units as they make their way through. The scout may potentially go down here as the chargers aren't going to connect because he's not going to use chargers, but the scout's just going to take it. He says, hey, you know what? We weren't interested in keeping him alive. He's just using up a population space anyway. Sounds like me when I'm 12 minutes through a Crucible game and I'm like, wait, what? Oh, get these scouts out of here. I don't need these anymore. We've picked up our caches already. Is it cache or cache? I think I'm Australian. I pronounce it weird, and I don't know the correct way to pronounce it, so I don't know which one to say. Cache? Cache. I feel like it's cache, but when I see that E on the end, there's a part of me that thinks it might be cache. Anyway. Anyway, we'll worry about it in a Crucible game. We'll be doing a Crucible game shortly. I'm going to attempt to do the... I want to try... look, I don't think Absurd Conqueror is going to be possible unless you've got, like, fully maxed out on the... I think if you're fully maxed out on your perks, I think you're probably going to be able to do it. But it's definitely not possible with the points that I've got. I'll say that right now. I think I'm probably sitting at about maybe 4,000, maybe 5,000 points, somewhere in that region, and it's definitely not possible. I only just beat Absurd, without the Conqueror mode bonus. So with that Conqueror mode bonus, I don't even know how you do it, man. Like, the trouble that you've got as well is that Treb, that big Treb that's constantly hitting you, because you just never have the option to take it down. To be honest, the more I play it, the more I feel like it's not so much about your perks, and it's actually about the bonuses that you get, the points of interest. So basically, like, there's a really good one. The one where you can choose between the Gulams or the Streltsy. And if you get that and you can take it early, and then so basically you want to go into, like, early pikes, and then you want to leverage that and, like, take out a champion or two and, like, start building up your army, and then you want to go for the Streltsy. And I think if you get that early, you can really get quite a bit of power in that. Like, because 20 Streltsy super early on. Anyway, we can theorycraft about that another time. Let's focus on the game we got here. Sorry, my passion is the Crucible. I'm a PvE gamer now. You guys are going to have to be patient here. We're going to cast this game, but don't worry, we're going to get to the Crucible later tonight. I'm confident. We got ourselves an Edict coming out. It manages to hit the outpost just in time, but unfortunately, with the death of the fortified outpost is the death of the Edict in this position, and no longer do you get that buff to cavalry health, or in fact, infantry health, or any other kind of unit health here. But what's going on here? We got ourselves a whole bunch of archers that are just getting left for dead. Poor Sass leaving all of the archers for dead. He's going to turn around, take a shot here. Cavalry comes through, tries to get a charge at the front, manages to do a little bit of connection. Meanwhile, behind this, slowly adding in more units. Now, one thing to note, we've got no religious units on the side of Corvinus 1. We went into Relic Uvus, and did we never see a relic? Is that what I'm seeing right here? There's no way there's no monastery. There's no way there's no monastery for a man who takes Relic Uvus. Say it ain't so. He's got 0 to his name, but perhaps that's the way it shows. We'll check in with him a little bit later, because for the moment, we've got more important stuff to focus on as these guys are really getting into the action. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves a bit of zoom on here as the Batu Khan is in there, remaining, sticking out in the fight. But once again, those knights, those pesky knights, and it becomes the trouble that if the knights survive, you shall not survive. Because, well, they're strong, they're pretty, they're powerful. Upgrades coming through as well. It looks like +2 on our food production. Looking for a little bit of fertilization on the side of SAS at this 19-minute mark. Definitely not the worst upgrade, that is for sure. Let's check in with Corvinus 1. I need to be confident that we're really not seeing a single relic being picked up back here. That is the case. Okay, and Preten only just going down now. The 20-minute mark, he's been up for a while. I guess he just didn't really have the APM. Because, like, you can always excuse it. You can always say, hey, I can go for these relics right now. It's one of those things where you just kind of have to do it ASAP. It's not really a case of, oh, delay it because I want to go and take a fight. Like, no, you don't even delay it because you want to go take a fight. You just don't take your fight. You got to go pick up your relics first. Surely. Relics coming through on the side of SAS now. He's picked up a 1. Is it just the safe relic? It's not just the safe relic. I think he's gone for 1 in the north. Indeed he has. So he's looked to pick up a contested relic. Keep in mind we do typically have 3 contested relics. See, this is my question. Oh, he's picked up a second one. He's picked up a second to the south. So yeah, there's the 3. This is the safe relic for Corvinus, safe relic for SAS. The last contested relic towards the middle. It's going to be 3 in favor of SAS. And this is part of my thinking, or like what I was saying a bit earlier, in the sense that normally I'd be very hesitant. Like, if you're playing Holy Roman Empire, right, and you're playing against, I don't know, any civilization, let's go Juicy Legacy, okay? And the Juicy Legacy ages up before you, and you're not even in a position to age up. You're much less likely to go into the Regnits because you know that it's unlikely you're going to get the relics. You still want to go Regnits, you still want to get the relics, but whether or not you're going to get them is a whole different ball game. And it's like, if you've got to position your economy to age up and you think maybe I'll get 1 relic, if I try I can get a 2nd relic, that's not a good situation. That's not a good situation. And like, I feel like you're doing the same thing almost when you're playing into the Golden Horde's age up, which is the relic Uvus. It's like, you don't necessarily want to be rushing castle, but you definitely want to be clicking the castle age button before your opponent gets to castle. Because with the fact that you're waiting all that time to age up, like, it's 2 minutes to age up. There's no way to make that shorter. You're just stuck, you're locked in. Maybe there's a world where you get access, like, I don't know. Balance is one of those things that we're just going to have to wait and see, but it's just like, it feels really bad to have to be locked into an age up that is specifically designed to, like, take relics and then have no way to actually secure that until you've aged up. Do you know what I mean? Like, with the Holy Roman Empire, like, I can train a prelate in age 1 and I can send him out on a walk over to that relic, and then even though I know that my opponent's aged up, I can still put my landmark down. I can stick 20 villages on it. I can rush it up, and then my prelate, as soon as I age up, can click the relic and I can snipe that relic away, right? Like, there's still a world where it's okay for you to do that as the Holy Roman Empire, but I just don't see the vision with the Golden Horde. I suspect that going forward, it might be less and less favorable to go into Relic Uvus, and probably a bit better to go into, excuse me, I can't remember the name, but it's the one that provides the 200 wood and gives you a shield for your heavy units. I think that is probably just going to start to make sense over time, unless you're in a really good position and you can justify, hey, you know, I think we're going to be fine to get up to castle before the opponent here. Anyway, crossbow numbers still not the highest yet for Corvinus 1. They're going to get focused down by the archers on the back, getting 1 shot at the moment. Nothing to really contest this. Corvinus 1 in a little bit of trouble here as SAS now breaks in underneath the fortified outpost. Keep in mind, we do have a little bit of defense helping out, but the Batu Khan, he's going to be left alone here as all the remnants of the army goes down. Corvinus 1 on 6 military units. He's lost so much in this fight, and SAS has got an incredible opportunity right here. Let's double check and see. Yep, he's doing it. He's going to go imp. This is exactly what we see players do. Don Artie patented this a long time ago and said, hey, we're going to do this. Basically, instead of putting it on gold, which makes sense because gold's a rare resource and we want to try and... He's going imp? He's going imp? Hold on. The golden tent can rapidly produce unique units at a discounted stone cost, and Roost tributes are upgraded with increased armor and a Bardich axe. Is he attempting the impossible right now? He's not attempting the impossible with the Red Palace in his base, that's for sure. I mean, he can attempt the impossible. How do you overcome the Red Palace? I love the tenacity, not the tenacity, the audacity of SAS right now. I got my programs confused. This is ballsy. I mean, Sass knows what he's got, right? That's the thing, man. Like, it feels like he's selling a Toyota Camry right now for $15,000. And he's just like, I know what I got, man. I'm not going any lower. He knows that his opponent... No, don't do him like this. Don't do him like this. No. He wants to burn down the blacksmith so he can put it right on... Oh, because he knows! He knows that his opponent can't do... Okay. If he takes down the blacksmith, he can put this right next to the town center. He wants to build it as close as he possibly can. The red palace next to... You're absolutely disgusting, Sass, and I love every single bit of it. If he puts the red palace down to the or next to the town center, you can't build any other landmarks. There's no running away with this town center. If this age up comes through, he is sealing the deal. Corvinus 1 is trying his best to play into this strategy. He says to himself, okay, I've got a vision drongo. I can do it. I'm going to get the discounted stone cost unique units and I'm going to spam them like crazy. And that's going to allow me to win this game. And Sass on the other side has just done a little bit of a Bugs Bunny and said, no. And that's where we find ourselves. Now, we're at 15,000 health on this bad boy. It's going to go up to 20,000 when we hit Imperial Age. And you can see he's got a whole bunch of archery ranges that are coming up behind this. Economy not looking the healthiest either, despite the fact we were in 2TC for a while. Age up coming through right now. Say it ain't so. I will not go. Sass about to turn the lights off and carry Corvinus 1 home because... The golden tent. Look at that. Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like there's a part of me that just says, we got to... I don't know. We need to change this. It works for the Abbasid. Does it work for the Golden Horde? I don't know. Could be the case. Immediately. What's he doing? Torgoods. 8 seconds. 8 seconds on Torgoods. All right. He's going to try his best to spam it out. Let's see if he can do... Triple Torgood as well? Okay. He's cooking. Let the chef cook a little bit longer. He's trying to get the age up through. The tent is spamming. Oh, he's got the tribute coming through as well. He's going to try and defend here at the last second somehow, some way. Sass thinks he's actually going to be able to hold it. I think he might be able to as well, but Corvinus 1 continues to add units. Is he actually cooking right now? Corvinus 1 trying his best. I tell you what, if it was against any other strategy, you probably could have given him an A+ for it. But as the final keep comes in, Sass looks almost certain to end this deal. Even if the army dies here, even if the Torgoods are able to stay alive, he's got more in queue. Dude, these are actually incredibly cheap. What is going on? Why are they so cheap? Why are they so cheap? What is going on? How are they so affordable? That is incredible. They're coming out every 8 seconds. He's spamming them non-stop. And now they've got 20 damage, 350 health. He's actually killing the army. He's actually doing it. He's defending. He's holding on. He's only got 52. And now a whole bunch of hand cannoneers have come out. I don't even know how he's got... How is he getting the triple out here? He doesn't even have the archery range reinforcements. More Torgoods coming out. He's got the option to go... Bro, why are they so quick? Why do they only take 8 seconds? He's going to go into a traction trebuchet. That makes sense. There's keeps right here. He's going to go into the traction trebuchets. He's holding. He's holding. The mad... Oh, my God. Chef Corvinus 1 in the house. Bro, why have we got so many chefs on this new experiment? Look how quick they came out. 12 seconds on the traction trebs. The man is cooking. There's no way he's going to do it. He's down half the economy of his opponent. The traction trebs are at a safe distance now. He's going to start working them down. Vils are here. Going to start repairing. 400 stone, but I tell you what, he'll be absolutely through that stone in about... Give him a minute or two. Traction trebs working it down. Corvinus 1 never giving up, never surrendering. Exactly the way it should be. Never give up, never surrender. Not when you see this. This is absolutely wild. Well, oh, he's going all in. He's going all in. Is he bringing Vils? Is he bringing Vils across? He's not committing all the Vils. The Vils are just doing a 2-for-1. Battering ram now coming up. Oh, Siege Workshop going to start working it down slowly. Torgoods together with the Trebuchet. He's going to try their best to defend. Golden Tent, 5,000 health and falling. Horseman now onto the backside, going to get picked off, working down those traction trebs. More elite Torgood in queue. He doesn't have the stone that he needs to. He wants to be spamming these bad boys non-stop, back to back to back. Golden 10. And this is the trouble with the Golden Horde. They may be the Golden Horde, but I can tell you right now, it's a little bit of a golden curse. Vils come through. They're going to look to repair. Only 400 wood in the bank. But keep in mind, that wood cost is not, or that wood is not going to matter. He can repair this for free. It's just like the Abbasids. It seems a little bit weird, the fact that you can repair it for free, but hey, we're going to take it, especially at this stage. Battering ram going to try his best. And we are witnessing absolute madness this right now. I cannot believe what we are seeing here as Corvinus 1 continues to fight for his life. Where's the Vils? He's got 6 in here, still repairing, 2.4k health. Needs to pull in more Vils. He's got 28 left on the board. A few gathering wood, and all of them gathering wood. I don't know whether or not he realizes it, but he doesn't even need wood at this stage. The only thing he needs right now is to hit the resign button. I don't think it's going anywhere, fellas. It was a good game, but in the end, Corvinus 1 taps out. What an incredible play from Corvinus 1, but Sass takes the win. Ladies and gentlemen, go check them out. I'll leave links in the description of where you can watch them because they are live all the time with incredible games just like this. Of course, by the way, don't forget to check out Outback Octagon 4 returning November 19.